Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to my review of tonight's edition of Monday Night Raw. And I thought tonight's show was a decent show. There were some things that I liked about it. I thought it was better than last week's shit show. So, yes, I thought Raw was a decent show tonight. So yeah, but the show opened with Bray Wyatt coming out. He's saying that last night was the beginning of the end to slay the beast and save everyone. He says he is here to slave anyone who's guilty, and he calls Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns all guilty. Those three who were in the Fatal 5-Way match last night with him. And Bray goes on to say that they must all be punished, and he's going to start with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns ends up coming out, make his way out. Bray Wyatt's in the corner, and he starts chuckling starts laughing at Roman. Roman says that when you run your mouth in his yard, and then he just strikes Bray Wyatt. Bray ends up going out of the ring. And that eventually sets up the match when Raw came back from commercial. Of course, the first match was Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt. I gotta say, this was a pretty good match. I'd say it was the best match of the night, in my opinion. Just Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt going at it. Bray should have had this match won because Roman Reigns won. Because he did a Superman punch to Bray, and he also speared Bray to score the win. But it was a good match, in my opinion, best match of the night. It was very entertaining match. And then after that, we had Enzo and Big Cass being interviewed about their match against Gallows and Anderson for later on tonight. Enzo says he's going to catch who is attacking him. And Big Cass says that he's tired of seeing people think that he was the one, or people saying that he was the one who attacked Enzo last week, and he's going to watch his back against Gallows and Anderson tonight. He's going to watch Enzo's back. So it was it was a little interview. And then we had Kurt Angle with Alexa Bliss. Alexa jokes to Kurt about her, being Bailey, because she was like, "Oh, how is the kendo stick on a pole match?" And like everything like that. But Alexa says that she's done feuding with Bailey and she wants to celebrate her life tonight. And so they end up making a joke about last week's shitty "This Is Your Life" segment, where Alexa said tonight she wants her own "This Is Her Life" segment. And then Kurt doesn't like it, and even he agreed that the "This Is Your Life" segment from last week was the worst segment, which was really funny. But Kurt tells Alexa that the title is going to be on the line tonight, and that her opponent is Nia Jax. So this gonna probably be a little feud with Alexa and Nia Jax. Setting up their feud going on as the weeks go on. So it was a little segment with Kurt Angle and Alexa Bliss. And then we get Elias Sampson in the ring singing about Dean Ambrose, saying that he found a leaf on the highway before he started singing. It was boring. Elias Sampson is just there to waste time, just useless. And Dean Ambrose cuts him off while he's singing. Dean says he wants to say something real quick, and then he starts hitting Elias with the mic, which is funny. And then he takes out Elias. He then goes back in the ring, and he says he wants Miz, and he wants his rematch for the Intercontinental title right now. Miz is on the Titantron and says there is no rematch for the title, and that there was going to be a celebration of him winning the Intercontinental title, which is happening tonight. And then Elias attacks Dean from behind, and Elias gives Dean a swinging neck breaker to end the segment. So it was a kind of segment. I mean, it was funny with when Dean hit was hitting the mic on Elias. And then we find Dean Ambrose backstage with Kurt Angle. Kurt says to Dean that he will have a rematch with Miz for the title, and Kurt ends up telling Ambrose to take the night off. So, Dean takes the night off, but will he take the night off? Just have to find out as I get to it. And then we have Samoa Joe coming out saying that he doesn't fear Brock Lesnar and that he is far too envious of Brock Lesnar. He says he wants everything Lesnar has, and he wants to take it all from him. And then Joe says that he wants Heyman to be his advocate and let him run his errands. Let Paul Heyman run Joe's errands. And then Joe says that he wants the Universal title, and he also says that at Great Balls of Fire he will take the title away from Brock Lesnar. Paul Heyman comes out and says that Brock Lesnar doesn't fear Joe, and that Heyman gets concerned about Lesnar's opponents and who Lesnar fights. Paul Heyman wanted Lesnar versus Balor because it would have told a big story, and it would have been people would have paid to see it. And he says to Joe that he is the worst case scenario for Brock Lesnar, and that Joe wants to go to war with Lesnar, and that Joe's going to take a piece of Lesnar with him. Paul Heyman says that at Great Balls of Fire, Lesnar is going to be Joe's worst case scenario. They then shake hands, both Heyman and Joe, and then Joe tells Heyman, like he whispers to Heyman that I'm going to send that he's sending a message to Lesnar, and that he's going to wrap his arms around Paul Heyman's neck, and just send a little message to Brock Lesnar. And he puts Heyman in the coquina clutch, makes Heyman pass out, so to end the segment. But it was a pretty good segment between Joe and Paul Heyman, setting up some hype for the Great Balls of Fire match between Joe and Lesnar for the title, for the Universal title. But that's gonna be a good match to me. But I doubt that Joe's gonna walk out with the Universal title. But we'll have to see until next month. So, and then Samoa Joe is backstage, and he's like, who's if Kurt is gonna get in his way, because he says not even Brock Lesnar will be in his way. And Seth Rollins shows up, saying that he wants to take on Joe, and that he will beat him one-on-one tonight. And so then Kurt makes the match for tonight for both of them, Samoa Joe versus Seth Rollins, which will be the main event. So, short little segment. Then it was Cesaro and Sheamus versus Heath, Slater, and Rhino. This was a pretty short match. Cesaro and Sheamus won the match with Sheamus hitting the bro kick to Heath Slater. And then after the match, Cesaro and Sheamus, get on the mic. They say to the crowd, "Who's happy?" The Hardy Boys came back, and the Hardys are at home watching and thinking of their rematch for the Raw Tag Team titles, when that's going to be. So it was a short match, Cesaro and Sheamus versus Heath Slater and Rhino. Nothing spectacular, nothing great. And we see TJ Perkins backstage with Neville. He congrats Neville for the win last night. And, Perkins wants a title shot against Neville. And Neville was like, I'll see, I'll see if you beat Mustafa Ali. So, little backstage segment. That eventually led to TJ Perkins versus Mustafa Ali. Pretty good, pretty entertaining match from both of them. TJ Perkins. But he got the win with the detonation kick to Mustafa Ali. And then after the match, Neville comes out and he attacks TJ and says to him that they are going to have the championship match tomorrow night on 205 Live, which that's going to be a really good match. I just watched 205 Live like 2 weeks ago. First time I watched it. I gotta say it's pretty entertaining. It's the cruiserweights. I keep on thinking the cruiserweights have their own show on the network, 205 Live. So why are they still competing on Raw? Because they, like I said, they have their own show on the network. But TJP versus Mustafa Ali, it was an entertaining match. Then after that, you had Goldust cutting a promo about R-Truth, setting up for their feud. It's been like that for a few weeks, and I gotta say I enjoy these Goldust promos. Takes you back to the mid-late 90s when he was cutting those promos, which are really cool. Like I said, I'm glad that they've broken up Golden Truth. Because I like seeing Goldust like this. What he was from the mid to late 90s, cutting these promos, cutting these really interesting promos. It's just really throwback promos that Goldust is cutting. And then we see after that we see Mickie James, Dana Brooke, and Sasha in the locker room. Alexa walks in, and Sasha wants nothing to do with this, so she walks off. And then Alexa just talks to Mickie and Dana. Alexa's just sucking up to Dana and Mickie, saying, "Oh, you should have a shot at the title. You should have a shot at the title." And mentioning about Nia Jax. And then Mickie and Dana say to Alexa that they don't have a Nia problem, and that they both tell Alexa that they will be at ringside to watch the match. So, and that to end the segment. It was a okay segment. And then after that we had it was Kurt Angle came out, had like a private convo with Corey Graves while Graves was still on commentary. Like last week what happened when Corey Graves received that text message on his phone and he went to the back. He was with Kurt Angle. So, but yeah, it's a mystery of what's going on with Kurt Angle and Corey Graves. From what I heard, this is just to set up, Stephanie McMahon returning to Raw. It's a rumor though, but there were reports, saying about it. And then after that, we saw Kurt Angle. He was going to be interviewed about the private convo that he had with Corey Graves. And then Kurt Angle just says it's a private matter. He didn't want to release information. He leaves the arena. And then, it's funny, Ambrose comes back into the arena, which was funny. And then after that, it was Kalisto versus Apollo Crews. Very short match. Just had Apollo Crews. No, I'm sorry, not Apollo Crews. It was Kalisto versus Titus O'Neil. where uh, you know Titus O'Neil was just dominating over Kalisto, uh, and then you had Kalisto uh, pin Titus O'Neil with the roll up because he used the trunks. Uh, so, but Kalisto versus Titus O'Neil, it was a short match. Excuse me for saying Apollo Crews. Mine is like, just got done watching the 3-hour show, and sometimes after you watch a 3-hour show, if after you watch Raw every week, you're like, ugh. So, but it was a short match, nothing great. And then we have, after that, we had the Miz celebration. Well, before that, we saw Miz and Maurice walking out. Miz spots something, and we see Big Cass has now been attacked, and he says that whoever attacked Enzo last week had like a long chain, because there was like a chain right there, and the chain was right next to Big Cass, and Enzo was worried because they still have that match with Gallows and Anderson tonight, but it looked like Big Cass wasn't gonna compete tonight because he got attacked. So it led to Enzo choosing a mystery partner for the match. So, but just a little backstage segment with them. Mystery of who's attacking Enzo and Big Cass. And then we go to the Miz celebration, where he's celebrating winning the Intercontinental title. He had champagne in the ring. He had like the Miz letters in balloons. Balloon M and I and Z balloon. He also had a guy dressed up in a bear suit, holding a congratulations sign. And then Miz says he proposes a toast to him at a time when he's the Intercontinental Champion, and they wonder why the bear is in there. Maurice tells Miz that she didn't get the bear, and then what was really funny is Miz gives a skull crushing finale to the guy in the bear suit, because he takes the bear mask off and he thinks it was Ambrose inside the bear suit, but it really wasn't. So that was really funny. And then a big gift gets bought out, and Miz mistakenly thinks Ambrose is inside the gift, but Miz takes a chair. He ends up destroying the gift. The gift was actually from Maurice, and it was a grandfather clock in there. Maurice gets upset because Miz destroyed the grandfather clock that she gave to him, and then she ends up going to the back really upset. He blames all this happening on Ambrose, and Miz was calling Ambrose out, and we see Ambrose in the back of Miz, and then Ambrose gives Miz a dirty deeds to end the segment, and then you see Ambrose drinking some champagne, which was really funny. It's like dirty deeds, drink in and out. So, but it was funny though. It was a pretty good. It was a good segment. It was funny, seeing Miz giving the skull crushing finale to the guy in the bear suit, and Ambrose giving Miz a dirty deeds and just drinking that champagne. So it was a pretty good segment. It was very funny. And then we had Enzo Amore versus Luke Gallows and Karl Anderson. Enzo announced who his mystery partner was, and his mystery partner that he chose was the Big Show. And Enzo tries to get Big Show a little fired up, and then Big Show just cuts like this promo. He's acting all with an Italian accent, which was funny. And then the match started, It was a very short match. Just had, you know, Big Show just dominating through the match with Karl Anderson. Uh, but in the end, Enzo and Big Show won the match because Big Show gave a choke slam to Anderson, and Enzo hit the boom shakalaka on Anderson to score the win for him and Big Show. So it was a short match. And then we had Enzo and Big Show backstage. They run to Big Cass. Big Cass who's finally up after, being attacked. And Big Cass seems to question that Big Show was the one who probably attacked him. But we don't really know. So it was a short little backstage segment with them. Then we had R-Truth cutting a promo on Goldust, which was really funny. It's like in both of their promos, they were cutting lines from movies. R-Truth's one was a quote taken from like A Few Good Men. So, but it was a cool little promo from R-Truth. And then we had Alexa Bliss being interviewed about her match against Nia. Alexa says, for everyone to watch out on the women's division, because the women's division she wants to make a little better again. A short little interview. And it was Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax for the Raw Women's title. Basically, it was just Nia Jax just decimating Alexa. Alexa getting out of the ring. Dana Brooke and Mickie James was down there watching the match, and you just had Alexa just hitting Dana and Mickie to cause a disqualification, and so a disqualification for Nia Jax though. But Alexa Bliss won the match via disqualification to retain the Raw Women's title. Then after the match, you just had Nia attacking Mickie and Dana, laid them out. Nia just ran Mickie into the turnbuckles because she was right over there, and she gave Dana Brooke a Samoan drop. So, but it was really nothing. The match, just a DQ. And then we see Paul Heyman getting a call from Brock Lesnar. Heyman tells Lesnar that he should show up on Raw next week and unleash the beast to Samoa Joe. And so, yeah, it was announced that Brock Lesnar is going to be on Raw next week to confront Samoa Joe. So, and then it was the main event, Samoa Joe versus Seth Rollins. It was a pretty good main event. Back and forth action between both of them. Just had them going at it. I gotta say, it was entertaining, but Samoa Joe got the win with the Coquina Clutch on Seth Rollins to make Rollins passed out. So, but it was like I said, it was a pretty good main event between Joe and Rollins. So, yeah, so anyways, that's it for my review of tonight's edition of Monday Night Raw. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all later tomorrow night for my SmackDown review. So until tomorrow night for the SmackDown review, I'll see you all tomorrow night.